Hey everyone, it's Luke here from LT Gaming and welcome back to the channel. So, you're getting husky Luke today because I've had a bit of a chest infection. The voice sounds a bit like I've been chain smoking reactor coolant, but bear with me because this game's worth it. Every now and then on LT Gaming we find these incredibly niche space projects that nobody else seems to be talking about. The sort of games that exist quietly on Steam, toiling away under the radar while the dev builds something truly fascinating in the background. And that's exactly what's happening with NTL No Time Left, a solo developed FTL inspired space sim that's shaping up to be something special. Drop a comment below to let me know how my husky sexy voice is holding up today, and drop a like if you like these type of space sim videos. They're a fan favourite on the channel and I love doing them. At first glance, NTL drops you into a procedurally generated universe where every system, encounter and decision can send your crew towards glory or disaster. The game's tagline should be something like "you command, you survive, or you don't." You're at the helm of a starship, issuing orders, managing systems and facing random events that can change the fate of your crew in seconds. And it's being developed by a single creator who's building it in his spare time between a full-time job and raising 2 kids, and that somehow makes the whole thing even more impressive. It's also something I can relate to as a father of 3. There's a lot going on, and with YouTube and other things in life, these things really take time, so it's definitely a project we need to be patient with. Despite all this, he refuses to release anything half-baked, and he's building this one right. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description to his YouTube so you can check out all the work that he does. It's a really cool project and he's an interesting guy to listen to as he makes and designs the game. Under the hood, NTL No Time Left is more than a command interface. It's a full real-time tactical roguelike. You'll balance power between engines, shields, weapons and life support while making split-second calls that can make or break your run. Death is permanent, but progress carries over between runs, giving that addictive just one more attempt feeling that great roguelikes thrive on. That procedural generation keeps every journey unpredictable, throwing you into unique situations with each new voyage through deep space. Travel looks ambitious too. The Steam page hints at seamless portal travel rather than static sector jumps, suggesting a continuous universe rather than a grid of isolated encounters. Combat operates with Newtonian physics, so momentum and drift play a big role. Now, Newtonian physics can be a mixed bag in space games. Some people really like the realism, others find it frustrating and want to fly around like they're in Star Wars. I do get it, I get both sides. I think the implementation in the game In the Black of Newtonian physics looks really good. The same with Helium Rain. I think it was really good in both those titles. And of course, In the Black is coming soon, so check out that demo. And if you really have been around LT Gaming a long time, you should know about Helium Rain. It's a free space game you can pick up on Steam. I think it's on Epic as well, but just an amazing title. So if you get anything from this video, go and check out Helium Rain. But I've gone majorly off topic there and given you a load of great space games for you to check out, but we do that here at LT Gaming, so I don't feel too guilty. But NTL is of course an exciting mix of classic FTL style decision making with a more physical cinematic sense of spacefaring chaos. Just a quick interlude to say most of you who watch the channel are not subscribed, so make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button because it helps smaller channels like us grow really quickly, and both me and Tom really appreciate it. The obvious touchstone here is of course FTL, Faster Than Light, the game that set the gold standard for roguelike spaceship command. But NTL No Time Left takes that addictive decision-driven formula and reimagines it through a fully 3D lens. You're not just looking at icons and corridors anymore, you're seeing your ship, your systems and your battles unfold cinematically across space. The latest update even introduces mesh deformities, meaning your hull will visibly bend, buckle and scorch under fire. You'll see the damage ripple through the ship's structure as you take hits, giving combat a tangible, gritty edge. It's that kind of detail combined with a dev genuinely listening to community feedback that hints at something with real staying power. And what really makes it worth keeping an eye on is the sense of intentional design. This isn't a quick hit roguelike trying to copy FTL's magic, it's a deliberate attempt to evolve it. Every screenshot, every system note suggests a slower burning experience focused on atmosphere, tension and connection to your crew. If you've ever wished FTL could be more tactile, more cinematic and more emotionally grounded, NTL No Time Left might be exactly what you've been waiting for. And let's be honest, the potential here is massive, and that's not just because of what's already in the game, but what could eventually take shape. The developer has made it clear he's in this for the long haul. He's not rushing updates, not chasing hype, he's methodically building something he can be proud of. And that's a rare approach in today's indie scene where so many games burst onto Steam, half finished and fade out just as fast. Now on this channel that's always a little bit of a risk because we do some early previews, but we just want to get them on your radar and you can keep tabs on the projects, and we'll do it also. though. Imagine where NTL could go once the foundations are solid. Potentially a full ship roster with unique layouts and crew configurations, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Then you're looking at procedural event chains that react to your past decisions, meaning every run tells a slightly different story. I think for the game to be a true success, it has to have some of these items in it. I think we should also be looking at a deeper command layer where your choice of systems and upgrades completely reshapes how your ship handles encounters. There's a world of potential here for storytelling through mechanics, the kind of design that made FTL feel so endlessly replayable. Then of course there's the ideal of modding, the big dream. A fully robust modding scene could turn this into an evolving space sandbox where players create their own events, alien factions and ship archetypes. Think of the creativity that came out of FTL's modding community. Now imagine that in a 3D environment with visible damage, real-time battles and cinematic ship management. It could become a living ecosystem of community-driven content constantly expanding long after launch. I mean, even potentially the idea of multiplayer or co-op, while not confirmed, is the kind of long-term evolution that makes sense for a game like this. I'm getting a little bit speculative here, but imagine two players commanding separate ships in the same galaxy, racing against time, sharing resources, or risking it all to save each other from a doomed run. Maybe I'm just creating my own game here and someone can make it for me. Ultimately, this is a project with time on its side, not a rush to meet a deadline, but quietly building something deeper, more reactive, and more human than we might expect from a one-person team. If it stays on course, it could grow into the kind of space sim that reminds people why they fell in love with the genre in the first place. This is a kind of game we live for here on LT Gaming, niche, ambitious, maybe even a little rough around the edges, but bursting with potential. We've seen how our videos on games like Earth Analog, Spearhead 2, and Starminer can evolve into real gems once they find their audience. No Time Left feels like it's right at that tipping point, and you can bet we'll be following it closely. I actually speak to the dev on a regular basis in the Discord. He seems like a really good and hardworking guy, so let's get out and support his project. And hey, even if I sound like a malfunctioning comms officer today, I promise the next one will be less husky. Well, maybe. That's it for this feature on No Time Left, a solo dev, a dream project, and a modern spin on one of the most beloved space strategy formulas of all time. Check it out on Steam, follow the updates, and let me know down in the comments, do you think this could be the next great FTL style experience? Thanks for watching, Captains. I'm Luke from LT Gaming. Until next time, fly safe, keep those reactor cores stable, and remember, we'll always find the next hidden gem even in the darkest corner of space.